For years and years, we ran our company instinctively. We ran with our gut, and we gathered as much data as we could, which was very limited, and then we'd try to make a decision as best that we could do, and if it felt right, we did it. Really, that instinctive nature served us well, but it's really not a healthy way to run a medium-sized printing company. My dad's really a hard-headed old country guy. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You salute the flag. I mean, he's one of those guys that made America what it is, and we just have some big shoes to fill. My dad was working at the local newspaper in the job shop, and he was really convinced that in the future, offset printing would be the way to go. A local accountant loaned him $5,000, started Peczuh Printing. They started in December of 1962. Their gross revenues were $64. So we've been bootstrapping as a company from a very early age. When I came on board right out of high school full-time, I was the 6th employee at Peczuh Printing, and now we have in excess of 160 employees. We continue to be headquartered here in Price. We print in 2 other locations in Utah, but we deliver product across the United States. Price is still kind of like this little one-horse town, but it's home. Even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, we just buy trucks every couple of years and truck our printing out. But in 2015, we acquired a sizable commercial printer. They had their own MIS system, we had ours, and what we really wanted was to be able to achieve this transparency throughout our company, this ability to move work, to understand what each one's doing, and to manage all that through a single set of software. And we purchased some software shortly after that, and for about 18 months to 2 years, we fought tooth and nail to make it work. We invested, we struggled, we bled and cried, and eventually we couldn't do it. We just couldn't make it work. It would not function.
We went down the wrong road. Very, very expensive and time-consuming mistake. A lot of resources and everything else.
To come to that conclusion that we may need to abandon this effort, it was somewhat of a disaster.
It might have been us. I don't know. I'm not a software guy, but I know that we failed, and we really had our tail between our legs. We didn't know what to do.
At that point, we started researching.
We were in a can't-miss situation. We could not go through another failed or poor implementation. We did a lot of due diligence, but at the end of the day, it really came down to what partner is going to help us be successful in the implementation of this MIS.
I've been printing in my whole life. I never heard of Tharstern.
And Tharstern put out truly a plan for success.
Their platform, the things that we were able to accomplish within that, addressed our needs, and they addressed them really well. And so once again, we rolled up our sleeves and we dove in. We committed the staff and the resources necessary, and it wasn't easy.
There was a significant investment on the part of both Peczuh Printing and Tharstern to help us accomplish this, a monumental task of bringing up an MIS. We're dealing with 3 facilities that had to all come up and come online, all the resources and the equipment and the people and the training and all that had to take place.
But they were people. It wasn't an organization. There were a bunch of people that were willing to jump in and pull with you in the same direction. They were more about finding solutions than pointing fingers, which is really refreshing to me. That when there was a problem, when there was a challenge, they educated us. They took the time to make sure we understand our role, their role, but they also never hesitated to jump in, roll up their sleeves, and go to work with us. And it still happens all the time. And that's really important. That's why I look at them as a partner. And partnerships are huge. Tharstern has just been there with us, willing to help us at every turn. They took the time to figure us out.
They cared enough that they come to Price, Utah, visited with us, spent time with us, encouraged us.
Tharstern is symbolic of our growth from a mom and pop shop into a true print manufacturing organization. It's our first software that provides us insight. It's going to gather data on our production processes, how efficient we are. It's aiding in our estimating. The transparency, though, on the production floor is invaluable, something we've never had before, and we need.
We had to have a product that had an API that we were able to dive into and start making connections to other parts of our business, from web to print to our Fuji XMF prepress software that we have, NetSuite accounting software, all of those things. As we continue to develop where we want to go and how we want to do that, it's critical that we have the options to be able to start having those as connected devices.
Like most systems, we have full access to the SQL database. We can go in and query, we can create our own custom reports.
Tharstern continues to be involved with the ongoing success as we continue to grow the system and develop the system. Our next steps are to move that system to a more integrated and automated solution throughout our entire organization. And Tharstern is playing a part in helping us with the success of that as well.
We have a real incentive to try hard to grow PZ Printing here in Price.
We've made sacrifices our entire history. PZ Printing's home is here in Price.
That's the goal of PZ Printing, is to continue to grow and to be able to support the people and families that are associated and employed and part of the team.
We feel like we have an obligation to continue to serve those who have served us here.
The roots are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it means a lot to all of us to be part of this community. It really does.